Yo, what up, Good morning, GMG. Monday, woo, baby. Monday, new week. Oh, yeah. March 17th, yep, 2025, look at that. Another beautiful day to have a beautiful day. I got my co-hosts in the house. Oh, we are back. We're back. Shout out to Logie Wan Kenobi. Shout out to Logan for filling in last week. But this week, the lads are back, and we are back in action. I got my co-hosts Tyler and Mando in the house. What's up, y'all? Good morning. How you doing today? How was y'all's weekends?
Fantastic. Yeah, really, really good. What about you?
Good. It's been a while, Mando. God damn it. It's weird 1 week without you now. I mean, even though we literally talk every day, but it's like, okay, so we didn't host together, but we're talking. But you're back. He doesn't have a shirt on. He's got a long sleeve on. I don't know what that means. Maybe it means he's long. We'll interpret this however our bias makes it to be. Tyler with the Bulls hat. There you go. Mando's long. Tyler's got a Bulls hat on. You love to see that. FOMC week, big week. Tyler, how you doing this week?
Big week. Feeling good. What I love about this market right now is that it's slowed down. It makes it easy but there's still enough happening that there's still some action. We saw some green on the NFT board here this weekend, some green on the tokens. So it was a nice weekend. And St. Patty's Day in Chicago, went to see the river. That beautiful green, perhaps a sign of things to come.
Yep. I celebrated St. Patty's Day here in Montreal too, because you have a massive parade. Saturday night, I had about 12 too many Guinnesses. It's great. I don't regret it.
So weird. Like, I lived in the UK for many years, and like St. Patty's Day is not that big a deal.
It's a huge deal here, and Chicago too.
Way bigger in North America than it is in like England.
It's another excuse to just get lit, you know?
Like in Ireland, if you're in Dublin, it's like a big thing. And often there's rugby on around this time, so like of which Ireland are good at. So you'll see stuff around that. But like, it sounds as though North America goes wild for it. Like there's parades, everyone goes out. Like it's definitely not like that. I
found out in Montreal this week, there's the Chinese Irish community. There's the Caribbean Irish community. There's the fucking like everything. They all had their different diasporas. It's about going, and then you have like the Chinese Irish going on doing their fucking crazy shit. Then you have the Caribbean Irish going on, and you have it. And I found out all these different Irish derivatives, and it was like an NFT project. This parade, it was amazing. There's all the different type of Irish people. Yeah. It was so good to see, and Irish car bombs are fucking delicious. Mm-hmm. So basically, it's like what? It's like half a pint of Guinness with a shot of Jamie in there, and then you drop a Bailey's. My God, it's so good. If you're over the age of 18 in Canada, of course, and over the age of 21 in the USA. I just put my disclaimers out there. But yeah, we did celebrate St. Patty's Day. It was nice. Also, it's green, Tyler. So we're both. You got to celebrate the green. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is one of the biggest weekends of the year in Chicago. Like this is man from all over. It's a huge weekend. And the weather was great. It was we had the 60s. So it was warm. So we're going nuts.
Yeah, exactly. So it's always a good time. It was a warm weekend too. So you have to see that all the snow's finally melted. It is the spring equinox this week, lads. So spring cleaning is around the corner. Now let's see what that means. Oh my God, Irish car bomb has a very different meaning in England. That's terrible. Comment, bro. Jesus Christ. You guys, that's crazy comment, dude. I hate the internet. Anyways, today on the show, I shouldn't laugh at that, right? Today on the show. All right. Well, we didn't have our quant last week, so let's talk with our quant. What he's got coming up this week. I saw you post something about like a lot of data come in. We have FOMC for the first time in a couple months as well. So it's gonna be interesting to see that. We've got Tyler's top 100. I mean, it looks like there's a lot of news cycle. So let's see what you've got for us. No spins today, but tomorrow all the way through Friday, We're gonna do a bunch of Robit loot box spins, and then as usual, this show is powered by Galaxys. Galaxys is a Web3 platform empowering creators and brands to build unstoppable communities with full ownership and independence, trusted by icons like Donald Trump, Steve Aoki, Mike Tyson, and the NBA, shaping together the future of engagement. But also Wallet Connect. Wallet Connect is a connectivity network shaping the future of on-chain UX. If you've connected to a Web3 app, you've seen Wallet Connect. That blue logo, it's everywhere. An icon of trust in crypto, as recognizable as Visa at checkout. Want to learn more? Follow Wallet Connect on X and Telegram to stay ahead of what's next. Also, the Wallet Connect markets are live on Myriad Markets. 15,000 predictors and 1.1 billion points already at stake on the Wallet Connect Myriad Markets. And that's just 4 days. They're going to run for 2 months. There's 150,000 Wallet Connect tokens up for grabs. So I'm just saying, if this token goes to $1, that's $150,000 that we're giving away. So, you know, go predict. Listen to Friday's show, right, Tyler? We give people the alpha. Tyler dug into the numbers, so check him out. Anyways, Mando. Where's my thing? I need to reconfigure my roadcaster. I lose my thingies. I can't. See, you haven't been on the show for 1 week and I forget where your button is. Oh, there it is. No, that's not it. There you go.
Who is the man? Macro daddy of the land. Can you dig it?
Yeah, so it is going to be a bit of a big week. It looks like this week for macro. Obviously, I missed most of last week. Feels like we bounced a little bit from kind of the high 70s, and now we're just kind of hanging out in the low 80s. Majority of what people are saying is that everything looks kind of oversold on macro. This was 4 weeks of the Nasdaq being lower. A lot of oversold metrics being hit. We did have a bounce on Friday. But generally, like when it gets this bad, we're either going to enter a bear market or you're going to see a significant bounce. So you kind of got to make that call right now. There's been some, some signs of stress in the US, like some signs we're heading for like maybe a light recession, but I don't know. I'm not buying them just yet. Like, let's see how the tariffs go. We obviously have the Fed. They're not going to announce a rate cut this week, or it's highly likely they will not. But they may signal a big change in path, just given the weakness in general from the stock market. So you could see a no cut, but dovish commentary sort of thing. I think that's what majority of people are thinking. Bitcoin dominance continues to be up around 62%. Feels as though Bitcoin needs to rally before anything else really can. We haven't seen any sort of sustained strength in any of the other L1s. Although interestingly today, Binance, BNB, has been the strongest, and a number of the Binance memes also were kind of running. So I don't know if that's like going to be an ongoing thing. Obviously, they got the investment from Aave DAO 2 weeks ago. So there's been some, I know, light positivity around BNB in general, but BNB DEX volumes again flipped Solana over the last 24 hours. I think Sol DEX volumes actually hit a year-to-date low over the weekend, which I guess is a surprise to kind of absolutely nobody. But it does feel as though degens are slightly moving away from Solana at the moment. BNB seems to be one place. There's been some stuff on AVAX. There's been some stuff on Sonic, but yeah, we're generally seeing that Sol is losing out on some of the more degenerate activity. I don't know what to really make from here. Like, my guess is that we could be in this sort of pattern for a long time. Hate to say it, but like we could be here for many months, just like given how suppressed activity feels suddenly. It really does remind me of periods where, you can be here for a long time and nothing really happens. Bitcoin is moving in a relatively narrow range. So maybe we do see like a dump back down to like 75K before it decides what it wants to do, or maybe like a slight rise. But this doesn't feel like the sort of market where Bitcoin's going to go from strength to strength. Like the near-term catalysts to me seem slightly more pushed out, in that we'll probably get some stablecoin regulation in the summer, and we'll probably get some we may get some RWA regulation this year. I'm not as bullish on that, but those are like the two like big ones coming from on the political side. And then the other side of it is just like it's more macro stuff. It's like people are getting bullish on M2 growth again, and getting bullish on like global liquidity going higher, and those things take a little bit of time. Normally, like they're not like, oh, this week it's suddenly just everyone rushes back into crypto. So I think we have potentially a more supportive backdrop here on that, particularly coming out of Asia. So US stocks have been doing terribly this year. Chinese stocks are having the best year they've had ever so far.
Yeah.
This year. So, and you can see the global liquidity is going higher there. So maybe we'll see like a bit more of a correlation to global liquidity rather than just tech stocks, which I think has been dragging a lot of things lower. But maybe we won't, and maybe we could be here for a few months. So, I mean, what do you do in these sort of periods? We've been in these periods for many months before, us three, I guess. Like, we know how these things can generally go.
Yeah, we have.
The things that become popular are things like farming. So you like might farm a new chain. You might do a bit more like DeFi stuff. There's been interesting like a return to NFTs a little bit, like not crazy stuff, but like we've definitely seen people pay attention to those a little bit more. People checking out other chains for degen activity. That's happened a little bit more. And yeah, just activity's low. Like the biggest story of the weekend was that they were trying to liquidate a hyper liquid trader. And that was a 2-day story, I mean, it actually ended up nothing happening. So it just feels like a bit of a slower news cycle. The main near term, or the main catalyst for me now seem to be a little bit further out, in that we're really looking at macro, like the Fed slow shifting of policy. The Fed shifts policy over months, not days, right? So we're talking about, maybe by the end of this year, we're out of QT, we've had a few rate cuts, that sort of stuff. We may get some headlines about like a major corporate or maybe another major nation getting into crypto, but we're kind of in the rear view of some of that already. Like at the moment, the US has already announced basically their policy. Russia is seemingly using it a lot, and we kind of already know that. The main one would be if China then like was a bit more loud about, we're going to unban crypto and be a bit more involved. But who can say with that if or when that would happen, or if it would be as public as like how the US had with like a big press conference saying, hey, we're going to get back into crypto. So I think just slow down, don't get wrecked, going after 10x gains over like a week or something like that. You can normally pick up on trends a little bit slower in this market, which is quite good. Like you had plenty of time to get involved in the Skulls of Lucy thing. You had plenty of time to get involved in some of the more airdrop stuff that's happening, I think, at the moment. And you can kind of also see the shifts in L1s there a little bit. So you can see, money's flowing out of this into this, and like maybe this is an interesting thing to look at. So slow down, pay attention, but you can slow down, and I think I still think we're in a relatively supportive backdrop that we're not going to like completely fall out of bed.
Love to hear that. You're sounding really bearish. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like it.
I'm not sounding bearish. I'm just sounding like, do you think Bitcoin's going 100K?
Yes,
like,
me or Tyler?
This week? Or in the next month?
This week? Come on, man. Come on, this
right.
week.
So is it going to do it in 3 months?
Yeah, maybe 3 months. I could say yes or no. It's uncertain.
Right. So we're kind of in June, July time, right? For a 20% move in Bitcoin. So I'm just tapering expectations. That doesn't mean you can't do stuff. I'm just saying that, like, it feels quiet out there right now, right? Like, let's be honest.
It is so quiet, bro. Like even the news or the timeline is like so boring sometimes. You're right, Tyler. It seems like you have an opinion here. 100K this week?
Well, I don't think we're going to 100K this week, but what I took from Mando's overview there was like, while he doesn't think we're going to rip up 20% in 2 weeks, he also doesn't. Yeah. He's not calling for the bottom to fall out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
In the past couple of weeks, I think there was more concern about like how low do we go, and I feel like one of the things that perhaps has changed is probably a little too soon to get too confident in it, but it feels like with things like Scott Bessent coming out and saying pullbacks are normal, we're not going to a recession, right? It feels like we're probably not going to go super low, I guess. Like with some like the true bears that out on the timeline calling for 69, calling for 50. Like that feels a little tougher of a scenario to map out than perhaps it did even a week or two ago.
Interesting in terms of like what is turning in the economic data. It's a lot of it is actually confidence. So it's like consumer confidence, business confidence, inflation expectations, that sort of stuff. And that stuff can be a leading indicator, or it can be like the biggest red herrings. Like US consumer confidence hit the lowest level in 11 years last week. Now, a lot of that is like worried about tariffs, like cost of living staying high, that sort of stuff. But often that sort of stuff, it doesn't necessarily lead to a recession. That just leads to like a bit of a panic. So they can be leading indicators, and they can just be like absolute nothings. And you know, as Ovi said even last week, like we are not where we were in 2022 by any means. Like monetary policy has got a lot of ammo it can do to alleviate if anything goes wrong. So this doesn't feel like one of those to me. It feels like a bit of a freak out. I think that what we've really also saw is there's been a reevaluation of US AI valuations, which is kind of necessary. Like you have Baidu, you have DeepSeek coming out with models which are at a fraction of the cost and at similar or even better than some of the US models. And so you're seeing a slight deflation in that, in the CapEx spend that was going to be expected there, and also perhaps the value that's being created there. That's not necessarily bad for the whole economy, but it is bad for the Magnificent Seven tech stocks, and whose valuations were largely tied to them having almost a monopoly in what was going to come from AI. Baidu, for example, which is one of the major Chinese AI companies, came out with a model last week, which is everyone's saying is like, this is better than way better than ChatGPT and much cheaper. So I think part of it is also just the stock market AI valuations are getting hurt, and crypto has been thrown in with that, even as a kind of low liquidity seems to be a little bit better.
Okay, love that. And then last thing, Mando, more on the macro sides of things. And I saw you made a post this morning saying there's some stuff coming up this week. I know there's
it's a
finally
huge week.
Huge week, right? Do you want to maybe take us through this week?
Yeah, sure. I'll just bring up what
I'll bring up your tweet right now. There you go. Boom.
This is kind of a mixture of crypto and macro, but we have retail sales today. Then you also have, I'll just focus on the macro stuff. Tomorrow, obviously, you have Trump and Putin. They're going to be talking about basically the redivvying of Ukraine after this whole situation. Wednesday is the big one, though. You've got FOMC. You've also got the Bank of Japan. Japanese rates are one of the major worries for macro right now. Like they keep on going higher, and Japan has a disturbing amount of debt to GDP. So if that was to really spiral, it would be a worry for Japan, but who knows? Thursday, the Bank of England, another country which people have been a little bit worried about from a macro standpoint. And then you have some jobs data as well in the US. So three of the four or three of the five major central banks of the world are making a decision this week, which will be relatively big. And then it's just US economic data that's going to come through. So big week for macro. I would expect some volatility, particularly on Wednesday.
Okay. How do you feel about it all? Like what's
what I just said? I think you should be buying. If we go below 80K again, I think you should buy it. That's my general view.
All right, perfect. Yeah, I nibbled too early this weekend, but it's not too bad. I thought Solana could bounce. I'm not gonna lie, a little bit more than it did. Went to like 135-ish. I didn't have it in it, but it was holding strong like this 127. 127 seems to be defended like crazy on Sol again and again. I thought we'd get it, and but no. So we'll see.
The Solana metrics continue to turn up. So like
Right.
the price is doing okay and holding that level, but it's not like you have to think about what is the story for people coming back to Solana. So you really have to have a story around
Just JD Vance meme.
yeah, memes, NFTs, deep in,
But
or
NFTs are not
RWAs.
even on Sol right now. It's like all Ethereum once again.
Right. So NFTs are not winning. RWAs is 80, or I saw today 80% ETH. So like it's largely avoided Solana so far. So then you're really buying on deep in or meme coins, and meme coins feel mixed. Let's say there's been some runners, but like BNB, for example, just flipped. If you go on the daily runner today, they're all on BNB, which is kind of interesting.
Daily
and
runners.
then and then Deepin's always been very strong on Solana, but I don't know if it's enough. Like if you look at mindshare stuff, it's not
up there.
It's not up there. So
yeah.
So let's see.
I mean, memes are always going to be mindshare number one. That in DeFi, right? So
it's AI. It's AI then DeFi at the moment. And
is it still AI?
Look at this. I actually tweeted this out yesterday. I was actually surprised.
What'd you put up? Let's see.
At AI is still 34%.
Wow, I did not know. I definitely don't feel this on my timeline.
I feel like it's 3.4%. Like I feel like it's an order of magnitude lower. But like it's tough because like overall AI is not like the broader concept of AI is still all over the timeline. Right. Crypto AI specifically feels much lighter. I don't know if all the reply bots.
There it is.
It
must be the reply.
We had the big situation with Grok last week and BankBot. Like, so maybe that was enough to keep it inflated. But would you say AI is 2 to 3x
no
about than these other sectors? Like that doesn't feel.
I'm sorry. Even though memes are dead, I'm seeing more memes than AI on my timeline.
And for me, at the moment, I think DeFi feels the strongest.
I agree with you.
What I see,
even GameFi,
but I think also you have to understand that this doesn't include just like Bitcoin. To me, this feels like all of these have come down like a lot. It's not like AI's all over my timeline. It's like all of these are actually down a lot versus they're just jockeying for position on a relative basis. I think
there's also not NFTs in here. NFTs have dominated my timeline between Sam and Good Vibes and abstract NFTs and all that stuff. They actually this weekend, NFTs would say dominated my timeline. The narrative of NFTs. Interesting. I wonder what Kaido bases this on, because the only AI I see is the fucking stupid AIs replying to my thing and ruining my page all day long. It's starting to really piss me off. Actually, like, it's so bad. It's like just low effort. There's always one AI that's hating on you, and there's always one AI that's just glazing you a little too much. You know?
Yeah.
I mute them all now, and then like they eventually go away. But like the whole dead internet theory, like there's like I have posts where there are 10 replies and they're all bots. So like it's just literally like a fake commentary out there. It is it paints a darker future. We can talk about maybe in a little bit. I'm curious. I was looking at the meme coin market cap chart, and like, does it look bottomed, or do we think it still goes lower?
Which chart?
The broader meme coin market cap.
I don't know where to find that.
Doge, which includes Sheeb and Pepe and everything, not just Solana. It's now down 8% on the year. March 2024.
There it is. This one?
Trump coin, before Melania coin, before all of that, we had a higher market cap than we do right now. 8 million tokens have launched on Pump Fund in the last year.
Well, this is levels.
We're lower than we were a year ago.
So Pump Fund is still in the top 5 revenue producing protocols. How wild is that? Like it still made last week. It still made how much? It was a lot last week.
I think no. Actually, last week was a bad week because we had a market open for it. That sadly we had to cancel this morning on Myriad. It was actually a bad week, but there was the news about Barachain that came up this weekend that may have revived a lot of that.
I don't see people. I just don't see people buying memes. Like even for Epic, right? I'm just going to put this as we've had a lot of positive news, and I just feel like people sell. Like a good piece of news, or like people sell pumps at the moment. rather than like buy them. Feels as though like any sort of pump in any of the even the legacy memes, and that they're much bigger. Like if Pepe was to jump, which I think is the strongest, was to jump 20%, I do still think there's probably salads of that. Just because I think people just feel like the meta needs a while to like heal. Whereas if something happened on like a DeFi or RWA coin at the moment, I actually think people might buy that. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like the momentum might be like, oh, actually, this might be something that picks up, and like this could be something new. I just feel as it's just a way that's completely anecdotal, but I just feel like that's what I see.
Yeah, my thesis isn't that we're going to see like a V-shaped recovery by any means. I'm just trying to we're like, or even memes oversold here, and like, are we going to see like a bit of relief, right? So I mean, Pepe's up 14% this week. Most of the leaders are green on the 7-day.
Look at the bleeding, man. Damn.
Is it just maybe just a weak relief bounce? But I don't know. At some point, they probably do bottom, unless you really think all of the memes are going to zero, which I don't really think.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably, in terms of like, are they going another 50% lower, these top memes? No, I don't think they are. But I don't think people buy things because they don't think they can go that much lower. They hope that they can go a lot higher. And I feel that's maybe the issue.
Man, the round tripping I'm hearing on some of those memes is insane. Like the stories I've been hearing.
Fartcoin actually weirdly feels like one of the ones that like Fartcoin feels a little bit Pepe-like to me.
You could trade it. But we talked about this.
But like next run for memes.
Yeah.
That looks like the Pepe chart. I know obviously it's
No, we talked about this. I don't know if it was last week when you weren't there or it was the week before, but we 100% said it just needs more chop here before another run. Because that's exactly what Pepe did at the $600 million range. It was like months and months.
It's like
months.
a year. Do you know what I mean?
Another 6 months,
yeah. And then it will just go one day, and it will just be like 10x, and you'll be like, oh fuck.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And then you're like, fuck, shoulda, woulda, coulda, and then you're gonna sell the screenshots of like, I sold my fart coin, it would have been worth like $5 million.
Yeah,
like you're gonna sell those posts. Classic. But yeah, the round trip stories I've heard lately from people on like Whiff and Popcat, it's like we're talking tens of millions of dollars. Like it's so crazy.
Well, of course, $80 billion, dude. Yeah. $80 billion was lost.
Oh yeah, it's true. Of value, perceived value.
Some people would have lost 8-9 figures.
Yeah. A lot of people busted up. Anyways, thankfully we're good. One thing we're good at least us and our friends groups, is we don't blow up. Knock on wood, inshallah, please. And we stay somewhat in the greens. You have to see that. Anyways, with that being said, Tyler, let's see what you got for us today.
For daily NFT and crypto analysis, Tyler T on FOMO hour calls the kids can't miss. Free to bash the bears.
Yeah, it looks like crypto majors slightly green here after what was an uneventful weekend. Bitcoin holding it at 83K. Cake and BNX over on Binance up 40%, leading alts. So as Mando mentioned, Binance clearly leading the way this weekend. The Telegram coin jumped 20% on news that CEO Pavel Durov will be allowed to travel outside of France. We saw Sailor Strategy. They bought only 130 Bitcoin last week. Right around 82K average. So one of his more cheaper buys here in the last few months. Now there's two competing bills in U.S. Congress aiming to codify Trump's strategic Bitcoin reserve into law. So those will be interesting to track. We had Goldman Sachs acknowledge crypto in its annual shareholder letter for the first time ever in that 2024 letter that went out last week. OKX pauses Specs aggregator while it rolls out new security features coming out of this Lazarus hack. And then Van Eck filed for an AVAX ETF right ahead of the weekend. In memes, we just talked about leaders were green. I think the most interesting story in memes was Venmo co-founder says the Jelly Jelly token was a net positive.
What a fucking loser.
App signups and community formation. So maybe internet capital markets were not a total disaster after all. We may have to get into that in a minute. In token airdrop and protocol news, Pump Fund teased a new launch on Berachain. We don't know a whole lot else about that. Sui is going to be the home of this Code of Joker game. It's a digital trading card game based on Sega IP that's set to launch this summer. Kaido had their Twitter hacked. This seems to be like the new trend is these hackers are tweeting out more reasonable tweets and then shorting. We saw that their token briefly drop and then rebound. And then Taproot Wizards led a strategic investment in Odin.fund as action heats up over on Bitcoin. Let's see, NFTs, big weekend for NFTs. Sam Spratt's Mask of Lucy saw some pretty major success, reaching an 8.5 ETH floor. I saw about $17,000 here this morning. Sales as high as around 9.6. There was also an 88.8 ETH Skull of Lucy sale. Good
Wow.
We got to talk about it. Huge winner of the weekend. Floor, it was a 0.069 ETH mint, I believe. Floor is at 0.5 now.
$1,000 floor.
Sales as high as 9.9 on a 101. So some big sales over there. So good vibes. The vibes are good.
Wow, there's a $2,000 bid on my honorary. That's
Wow.
crazy. I just saw that. I'm opening it. You're not getting it.
I don't mind if you sell, man, but some of us
Man,
are here.
that was so funny. Your reply to me that was dying, bro. Long term over short term.
It's cool. You know, if you want to sell, you can sell. I'm just not here for it. I'm here for long
I'm just
term.
waiting for someone to sell the Good Vibes Club honorary like they did the Nakamigos and everybody shames them. Remember when Nakamigos honoraries went for like 10 ETH and everybody was like attacking them? I really need someone to sell one just so I can laugh on the timeline. It's not going to be me. Oh my God. All right, Tyler. Let's start with NFTs, bro. I'm so happy NFTs are doing good. I want to talk about NFTs. Isn't it so nice when NFTs run? I mean, Tyler, I should have, Mandell Friday morning, Tyler was pressuring me in public on the timeline saying on the show saying buy a skull, buy a skull, buy a skull. Here's what I did. Instead of buying a skull, but please, I'm down 50% on that. No, we're like 30%, but the skull is up 3x. So I should have listened to Tyler. Tyler, take us through this weekend in NFTs because it's been pretty good.
Yeah, the Mask of Lucy, I had a gut feeling that these would perform well on secondary. I wasn't sure how quickly that run would
it's a big run.
Place. So the mint price was 2.5 ETH. Granted, ETH was a bit higher with them. I think these were closer to like a $7,500 mint. They revealed on Thursday the floor kind of opened right around $7,000 to $8,000, and then Friday is when things really went nuts.
Wow!
Woke up Saturday morning to an $18,000 floor. So a quick 1.5x for basically anyone who bought the floor in that first day and a half of trading. Cooled off a little bit on Sunday. I'm looking at it now. It looks like there's one on Nifty listed at 17. The next one's up closer to 19. But they also took over the timeline with, like, Sam was tweeting out masks. I think a lot of collectors were tweeting out theirs as well. And it just seems like a win for everyone. Like, it's just positive vibes. It's good art. I think people, even if they aren't in the collection, are generally happy to see this.
Yeah, of course.
It's just showing that NFTs can have some real success again. It's been a while since we've seen one really run to. So like that's an 8.5 ETH floor, roughly, just assuming ETH's at 2K.
13.9K. No, that's 13 ETH. Kidding. I'm I had you there for a second.
God, you really did.
Yeah, I just like your face. You're like second thing.
I know. That's sad because that's how.
They are awesome. I made a post this weekend saying, I wasn't comparing the art. Obviously, I'm not going to compare the hash mask to Sam Spratt's art. It's incomparable. But what I was saying is, last cycle we saw a mask-themed NFT, kind of like. God, I tweeted too much this weekend. We saw like a mask-themed NFT run, which then led to like a giga run, right? NFTs. It was like before the CryptoPunk run. And then this year, this cycle, you have Another mask themed NFT. I'm just saying, history does. What is it? History doesn't repeat itself. It often rhymes. Is it rhyming? I don't know. You can't compare. You cannot compare Sam Spratt to Hashmask. This is uncomparable. He's also bigger, but I just found the narrative funny, right? It's like, oh, masks, mask NFTs. So
I do think these are going to slow down a little bit, right? I think like there was definitely some FOMO playing out, and like that's kind of a little bit normal first few days of trading. I think I think a lot of folks who wanted a mask probably have a mask now, so I think the pace of sales is going to slow down.
I mean, 28 minutes ago, there was 14.7K sale. Oh, that's a listing. I'm sorry. Let's see sale here. Let's move listing. 13 hours ago, last sale, $13,000.
3 in the last day, roughly. So they've certainly slowed down a little bit. This is on OpenSea. I don't know if they track the Nifty Gateway sales.
I'm pretty sure OpenSea tracks everything. Like it's usually I mean, here, let's just see the real floor then.
I think to trade your mask,
it's way more expensive on Nifty.
To trade on OpenSea, you have to like export your NFT out of Nifty.
Yeah.
So it might be different. I don't know the details, but
it's a big difference. It's just a $4,000 floor price difference almost. So if you're buying, probably buy on OpenSea. If you're hodling, you want to keep it on Nifty apparently, because Sam was like, keep it on there if you want to, stuff like that. So
yeah, we don't know the speculation. So the way Sam has done this previously is the skulls provided access to the player cards.
Yeah, that's right.
The player cards provided access to the masks. So it's not a huge stretch to think, perhaps the mask will be an entry for whatever the next product is. With that said, the next product might be 2 years away. So like buy a mask because
we know Sam takes his time to do things mindfully in the right way, And then there's the whole question of self-custody versus Nifty's and exchange. It's up to you. I trust them. But I'm just saying, like, it's up to you also, whether you want or not to have somebody else hold your keys, right? That's all it is. So not your keys, but you get what I mean. So anyways, on that note, NFTs, I mean, gotta talk about Good Vibes Club. I mean, I opened my timelines, everybody's sweeping that shit. So it's like, may as well just talk about it.
We talked about 2 NFTs on Friday. We talked about masks and Good Vibes.
And where are they? See, look at this. Like, it's pretty wild. $2,000 offer on the honorary collection. That's no small fee. Like, that's not a small deal. There's a bunch of them. They're nice. But let's go to the actual collection itself. So this is the one I have here. There you go.
Where are they at here? Floor price
4,000 flat.
Okay, so that's a little over half an ETH then. I'm so not used to doing this in USD terms.
I know. I really don't like it. Let's just go to Blur. What, OpenSea, if you hear this,
they're not on Blur.
If OpenSea hears this, it's fine to have in dollars for the normie appeal, but either put the Ethereum in parentheses next to it or the other way around. Or let me change the denomination. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That would be nice. I'm gonna tell OpenSea after this, but let's go because my brain is still like conditioned. Okay, here.
Oh, it is on Blur. Interesting. I think
45. Oh, only one for that 0.45, so it's 0.5, dude.
Yeah, I'm seeing a 0.53 on Magic Eden right now.
No, you're right. There's one here. I doubt you can buy it. Okay. Wow.
That's a huge run. Right, I think they were like 0.15 on Friday.
Yeah, on the show Friday, I'm pretty sure it was like 0.2.
So they're up a clean 150%.
Oh, I'm sorry. Apparently, I can switch it. Oh, it's here. I'm sorry. Here you can change the denomination. Okay. Thank you to Sneaker Dad. Here you go. 0.52. Wow.
So so anyone who's bought these is up. So you've got that sentiment. We've seen people say that they like the art on these as well. I mean, a 7x for Mint, we haven't. I mean, we're starting to. I guess I was gonna say we haven't seen this in a while, but we kind of have. So like OCH Heroes,
did
this a couple weeks ago. So like the NFT market is not dead by any means, right? Like this month we've had a handful of products where you could have minted, got in.
Wow, 0.17 ETH, the bearish NFTs on Abstract.
Those are up nicely.
0.4.
OCH, even though like the first season's over, they're hanging out at 0.38.
Wow.
So very few people are down on those, really, unless you just bought those.
I've only seen positive sentiment around them on my timeline. I don't have any, but I've only seen positive sentiment. Wow.
So Abstract's doing well. We've got Good Vibes doing well. A lot of art this weekend. So a skull sold for 88.8. That was Bob Lucas. That's a weird skull. It was
stolen and all that stuff. Yeah.
But now
You
it's
hate to see
finally
it, but you
in
love to see it
hands.
at the same time. You know what I mean?
I think we saw an Autoglyph sell for 99. 3 Hoodie punks moved this weekend.
Yeah, this one guy, Art of Conviction, bought 2.
They were surprisingly cheap. So one was 134, which is 250K, which of course, in the grand scheme of things, is a ton of money for a digital.
I know, but in the collector, I know what you mean.
That was the floor. Like at one point in time, the floor was much higher than that. And then like this other hoodie was for 128.
Yeah. I mean, if you're rich as fuck and you're holding these for 10 years, you've made your money.
In USD terms, I like that.
Whoa, shit.
It's a nice one.
That just sold for 68. Wow, that is fire. I'm a big wild hairy guy myself.
Yeah,
this makes me want to PSP my
sales. Wild blondes. Those wild blondes are great.
I love the blondes. My only issue with some punks is some punks remind me too much of some people, so I don't like the trades by default.
Sure.
Nice little ass eater here. Look at that. Cowboy punk sold this in ETH does feel low, by the way.
Yeah, it definitely feels low in ETH terms.
It's crazy that the guy, did you see one of the guys? He made money on ETH, but he lost like 200 grand in dollars. Saw that as well. This was one of the hoodie punk sales. Crazy. Oh.
Overall,
punks are holding well, Tyler.
Yeah, the floor's at 72K, so Bitcoin's still outperforming it here. If the punk Bitcoin spread that I love to come back to.
Yeah, you love that spread.
15% down, but we're gonna, we know the day's gonna come. We're gonna see 20 punk sales.
The ETH floor is holding extremely well. If anything, hasn't moved since when. Like your buy is down in dollars, but in ETH you're even, right?
Yeah, I'd say I'm even, and I haven't. Another good indicator is I haven't seen a punk that I like more than the one I bought. I bought it like 41 or 42.
Love your punk. Yeah, you got lucky.
I haven't seen one come up cheaper than that. So like I feel good.
At 41, yeah, there's nothing under 41 that's nicer than yours at all. At all. You'd have to look. I love her. So I'd say 43 here. Love her. I just don't like that the shades on the fem punks are 1 pixel too high, in my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until you said it.
Yeah, see here, the male.
See it. Yeah,
it's on the ear, and on the fem, it's weirdly high. So that's one thing that really pisses me off. I don't know why. See here how nice they fall. This one's sick. I know cringy hair, stringy hair, and mole is not the most appealing, but it's a nice punk. I love punks, Tyler. God,
they're fun to shop for.
I've always wanted pigtail punk. It's my dream. They're so cute, I
actually feel like punks are fun to shop for, and like I know I'm a little biased because I bought 2 masks now, but like masks are also fun to shop for. Like they actually are.
Tyler, last cycle, art started this entire run. It was all started with art, not PFPs. It was art, and there's a reason why you're going back to art. It's all art. It was the art run. I got into NFTs through art. Not like it was the Nifty Gateway run, right? It was all the artists, like the Thank You X of this world, etc., etc., etc. Art led, then Bored Apes happened. The game changed forever and ever after. And I think for the better, actually. It was positive, right? Because also art ran with it. Speaking of art, it's happening again. Xcopy. You may have not seen that, but
yeah,
it just happened. You and I both, but there was just a raffle. And the raffle tickets or something already selling for what, 80th? So these just posted about that. So I'm sure you'll cover it tomorrow, but
wild.
Speaking of NFTs, here you go. Last Xcopy raffle gave winners a chance to mint for 2 ETH, edition of 42. Highest offer is 8.5 ETH.
What's the name of this collection?
I don't know because I just found Empire Things.
Oh, Empire Things.
This is a nice one.
That is.
I have to say one of the saddest things I had to do this. I didn't have to, but I sold my edition. I wonder how much they go for now. I remember I sold my
42 supply.
The Doomed. I wonder how much the Doomed is going for now. Xcopy. That's not the right one. I wish searchability was better. I would buy it back right now if it was not too expensive. How do you find the Xcopies now that were unknown origin?
It's hard to find these things.
The thing is because they were on top of this, Tyler, the platform shut down. It was known origin. So it's like, how do you find? I'm curious. Sneaker Dad's in there, probably listening still. You would know. How do you find? See items known origin. Okay, so then you go. See how tough it is still, Tyler.
39.
You have to go X copy known origin. There you go, and then you go low to high. There it is. So there's one for sale. 39 ETH. What's
Yeah.
39 ETH? Now I want it in dollars. That's so funny.
In
Now-
dollars, it's like looks okay.
The irony in dollars is 74. See, I sold it for way less than that. Sold it for like 40 something. Doing the thing. Yeah, that's my favorite X copy ever made. So sick.
It's a good one. This Empire things is a nice addition, and I will say, like, my gripe, maybe complaint, I didn't love like the X copy editions from 2024, like remnants. Like they all felt very, very similar, and maybe just not my aesthetic.
No, I feel that this one's cool, dude.
This is
You know what I
cool.
like? I like when, and I'm gonna sound super like whatever. I like when an X copy looks like an X copy.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like even Sam, he's got a style. I want a Sam Spratt. I want a Sam Spratt. You know what I mean? So it's just the way I see things. But yeah, this one's really cool piece, dude. I like that a
I'll
lot.
see who gets this one. I think this will age well.
Yeah, I love that. Mando has 2 crazy one of ones.
He does. I think I was totally surprised. Like one day, like he was just kind of pulled up like the Canary collection. Like, oh my god,
Shit, these guys got into the art too. These guys had a ridiculous art collection at some point. They probably still have it, but it's nuts. Anyway, so aside from NFTs, I mean, you touched on a few things, Tyler, but we went around the one pretty well. There was some things.
I think
that
the
you wanted-
Jelly story was interesting. I feel like you don't want to talk about it. We don't have to.
No, it's fine. Let's go. I have thoughts.
I covered it in the newsletter this morning. So I saw I was scanning Decrypt as I always do, and I see the story. Jelly founder calls meme coin a net positive. So basically, if folks don't remember, I'm trying to find his name here. His name is escaping me.
Lesson.
Magden Ismail. He was
Lesson. Oh, the co-founder. I thought you were telling the lesson guy, Magden.
Yeah, Magden Ismail. He's the founder of Jelly, co-founder of Venmo. So like that's a pretty lofty resume. Of course, like which is why this Jelly token ran to $250 million. But then it was peak meme coin mania, like a week after Trump. I forget the exact timeline, and then swiftly reversed. Ended up going down something like 98%. Hit 6 million. It was 14 million this morning. But anyways, he's talking to Decrypt saying he thinks it's a positive. Says they've gotten 10,000 signups in a day. That day they got 10,000 signups. Over time, that a genuine group has formed 2,000 to 3,000 people in our Discord and Telegram. 50% of the user base are people that hold the coin. So like this is a tricky one, right? I think this is really tricky to call because like just look at that. Let's put price action of the meme coin aside. Like if you launch a token or an NFT and you get 10,000 signups and you get 2,000 to 3,000 people that become actual core users, like,
but they're not, right? So that's the nuance, right?
What do you mean they're not?
They're not actually users. So the people signed up day one based on the coin, right?
Sure.
I think we can agree to that.
Yes.
I want to know how many of the users are still using the thing.
That's what he said, like 2,000 to 3,000.
Okay. First of all, it's a completely useless app. I'll just put it out there. Even that guy couldn't even explain what the app was that day on the Spaces. He was like, yeah, it's like a podcast as podcast. I'm never going to forget that.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants a new social platform. It's crazy. Like, I don't know. I guess this one doesn't sit right with me. It never will. I hated it from day one. You know that. But
I think they made a lot of mistakes early on, right? Like they didn't have a plan.
it's like they were making fun of us the entire time.
So like, a lot of things went wrong. But I want to if price action had played out differently, like let's say this had slow grinded up, like let's say the chart looked like the Puis chart, and
I have it handy here.
the Jelly team got 10,000 signups and 2,000 core users over a month. Are we talking much more positively about internet capital markets and using meme coins to build app communities?
I do agree. I think that tokens. Okay, picture it that way. This is as if I would have launched Myriad token day 0
Mm-hmm.
and then claimed all the users are the thing. Instead, you're building a product that people want to use, incentivizing them, let's say with points. You could argue that there's points, and then you go, okay, you'll teach you at the right time, right place. These guys did the other way. They launched a meme coin, gaslit people thinking it's just a meme coin that has nothing else, came into the space, kind of laughed at us on that Twitter Spaces, made a nothing burger. Casey Neistat warned them, by the way, on that Twitter Spaces, and now are claiming that it was a net positive and this and that at the detriment of thousands of people that got destroyed. Not a single person made money on this thing, right? That's, I guess, the difference, in my opinion, is that you don't have to launch a meme coin ahead of time to bring attention. The co-founder of Venmo, if he's such a big founder, right, Tyler? Like you said, like the resume speaks for itself. I can't even knock that. This man is more successful. I'm not saying that I will ever be, because maybe one day, but more successful than where I'm at now today. And that's for sure. All of them. But they didn't need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many ways that you can attract the attention of the crypto community by embracing it. Because you know how we are in this space. We love when big founders acknowledge us. Oh, look, he's talking about crypto. He could have gone on a PR tour, on a press tour, and talked about Bitcoin and even meme coins, or bought meme coins, or actually, he could have adopted different meme coins on Jelly Jelly that were popular and gotten more users than that, actually. As a matter of fact, I'm willing to bet anything that had he adopted meme coins on Jelly Jelly or talked about it, he'd have way more than 2,000 users active right now and been part of it. You know what I mean, Tyler? I think that's the way I see it. It's like, you don't have to launch a meme coin.
Mm-hmm.
And then pump it on Twitter Spaces like a madman for like 10 hours a day.
Yeah, I think they definitely made some mistakes. I'm not here to defend them.
I know.
I'm just trying to think back to this core concept, right? Because like we've seen this somewhat kind of play out in the NFT space to a degree, where you basically launch an NFT and then you build a company from there.
Right, but NFTs are different than meme coins. He should have done Jelly Jelly NFTs, sure. 10,000 Jelly Jelly NFTs, sure. Actually, slow grinded. NFTs are a great way. NFTs, what I like about them, Tyler, a lot last cycle, they were a great way to crowdfund and to build something. Meme coins are not. We all know meme coins are a casino.
How are they? I mean, but like, aren't they?
How are they different? Because NFTs are just tokens with, like, what was that Kobe line?
Exactly, yeah.
That question? Well, I'd argue that what you're seeing right now with the different projects shows that they're a little different. We'll see if I'm wrong, but I'd argue that, NFTs right now, like OCH, building a game around it. Look, I don't know what Good Vibes Club's going to become. No offense to people at Good Vibes Club that you're listening. It could be nothing in 2 months, or it could be something. Rugritos has an NFT company. We still are the core. We're always going to be. Sure, you're pivoting a bit towards prediction markets, etc., but the NFT is still at the core of it. There's a lot of things that come out of that, in my opinion, that are different.
I feel like NFTs have at least a few dozen teams who are still building.
Right. If you look at 2021, there's still some that came out of that.
And like no meme coin teams, which is a very clear difference.
Right. It's harder to dump NFTs. You're right, Sneaker Dad. It's also easier. A meme coin, you wake up tomorrow, it's 90% down. I guarantee you, and I'm sorry, I'm still using Good Vibes Club because it's relevant, guys. I'm not trying to like pump a bag or whatever. It's just relevant. They're not going to just drop 90% overnight. Sure, if Good Vibes Club starts dumping, it'll dump slowly. But it's not going to go negative 99% because you can't just like rug liquidity pool or something like that, Tyler. You know what I mean? Like not overnight. It could dump over a month.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's like dumping overnight. Even your masks, the Sam Spratt, the stock art NFTs, like, sure, they went from 4K to 8K on the show the other day to 18K this weekend. Now they're back to 13K. But it's not like they're going to go from 18K to 5K from Saturday to Sunday morning.
Would you say Mog has a team?
Yes.
And like, would you compare them to
an NFT project?
Like a top 30 NFT team?
Yes. Top 5 NFT team, actually, in terms of how hard they work. And I know that because we've worked with them. They sponsored our Basel activation. They sponsored our Consensus Hong Kong activation. So, and I can tell you they operate like very well, like professionally. Yeah.
Yeah. And I saw a glimpse of that down in Miami. I would agree.
Right. And even then, like, it's still a good mark. I know it sucks. Went from 5 billion to 150 million or 200 million outside right now. But if I had to bet on, if I close my eyes and right now I make my, let's say we're in an extended bear market right now, and I have to start nibbling into a meme coin that has a team, I'm picking that one almost 10 times out of 10.
Well, even right now, Mog's market cap is 184 million.
There you go.
There are 2 NFT collections with a higher market cap than that.
There you go.
Punks in it.
So they're up there.
Well, it's possible, but like we still don't have many examples of it. So I guess that's.
But no, you're right.
Yeah, it's tricky.
What could have been?
I don't have the answers on this one. It's just like it's an interesting discussion.
Yeah. What could have been the best one for that example could have been DGods. They had the token, the NFT. What could have been there could have been something that defies that. It's like, hey, like it's both NFT and meme. You know, it's like they could build something around that. Let's see what Red Guy does. You know, Red Guy, I know token's down bad because the market's down bad. It's on Ethereum, so it's not worse because of that. Still have it, and you know they're building a lot. Ovi hinted at some stuff this weekend again. So there's some examples, but at least out of NFT. But these are meme coins that came out after the NFT was built. Like Ovi built a community around Rect for 3 years, launched a product, sold it out, and then launched the coin. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So going back to Jelly John's thing, I just think, see, there's so many ways to do things better than to just ship it.
He does say that in the article to a degree. They're like, so I think the author asked him the question, like, would you raise capital this way again? And they come out and say, well, it's zero sum, so probably not. Basically, is what they said. So I think they did admit that maybe that wasn't the single best approach, but
yeah, definitely do not try to. There's so many. I mean, the thing is, okay, I get it. If you're like a nothing burger, like nobody knows you, whatever the fuck, sure, you gotta carry attention. But these guys already have all the attention in the world. So if meme coins are a way to capture attention, sure, you're right. This is true. So are NFTs. But Sam Lessin has 111,000 followers, and he's got a huge newsletter. And the other guys, the co-founder of Venmo, you know what I mean? They don't need attention. You know, they got all the attention. They got Casey Neistat for what it's worth on the Twitter Spaces day one. You know what I mean? Like there was like that Spaces was stacked with like San Francisco celebrities. You know, like startup founders, celebrities, right? So I don't know. I just think there's better ways. So yeah, I'm never gonna like that one, no matter what. And I also think the app is completely useless. But that's another conversation. It's like a podcast. That's podcast. Hear me out. FOMO hour.
Podcast.
Yeah. So, anyways, I know we're up on time. I just realized, is there anything I missed or?
Just like the Kaido hack, real quick, folks. Like if you are live trading these markets, like you see a single tweet that is like a surprising tweet for you, maybe don't rush to buy or sell. Like maybe
don't do
just
anything.
Let the situation develop. And I think it's worse right now because we've got so many citizen journalists out there and people trying to farm Kaido and trying to get farm engagement and cloud.
Yeah.
People are reposting these things without having done any research or diligence to understand if it's real or not. So I saw that Kaido tweet, and then the account tweeted out that several of their wallets had been conflicted. And the token started selling off, and I was watching. I was like, "Well, this I don't know."
But barely, right?
The token wasn't dropping as much as like I would have expected if like one of the team wallets was actually exposed. So
120,
so 29. Wait a little bit. I didn't tweet it. I saw several people tweet about it, and then 10 minutes later, several of the Kaido team members say, "Yeah, our account was hacked. We have full control over our wallets." So just be careful out there. And also if you're racing to amplify potentially fake news, maybe take a breather.
Yeah. This is the way it goes. Fucking farmers.
But also like this is a new tactic that these hackers are using. So I feel like we would see people lose their CT accounts or get hacked, and then it would be like some egregious. So like here's a token.
Yeah.
This was a very normal tweet that like looked like it could be real. Like they weren't launching a new token. they were just talking about some of the team wallets, but the tactic here is that they've gone short on perps markets.
Whatever happened to quacks?
I think they're still out there. They're building.
Are they? I was just trying to see if there's a leaderboard. There's still not a leaderboard.
It's
It
new.
says
It's a
coming
new
soon.
product. Yeah. So there's not anything to do. Like if you're trying to get some quacks, just tweet like you normally would, and you'll accumulate some quacks, and hopefully they'll turn into something at some point.
Yeah. It's interesting. Anyways, all right. Well, look, I think we went around the horn pretty well today. Well, there's a lot. I like this when there's something. See, NFTs bring that out though. We talked about something for like 20 minutes. It was the NFTs talk. See, this is good. I like that. So what are you talking about with meme coins? Oh, this thing's up, nothing's down. Cool. Awesome. Tyler, you gotta fix the priest chart, dude. You had me buying the top, so no, I didn't buy the top. I bought the almost top. With tiny size. Just for fun.
35. Oh no.
I got tired of saying I'm not in this one, and now I am, and I'm down. Fuck.
It looked like we were going to keep printing that higher low, higher high, and we.
It all depends on the market. Solana's kind of shitting the bed right now. Fucking 125. We'll see where we're at. I mean, there's always de-risking also ahead of FOMC. You never know.
Big myriad market. A few hours left. Fear and greed.
Oh, dude, that market's gonna be a sweat, huh?
Real sweat.
This is, you got a couple more hours, I think, to put your bids in here. And then I got some news for all you guys. We're gonna launch like 10 markets this week for USDC. So expect a lot. Expect March Madness. Expect F1 in China. And some fun stuff around Solana price, total 3, BTC ratios, geopolitics, Ukraine and Russia, some culture stuff. So expect a lot of money markets. They're coming. And we're hearing about the referrals. There was just a little tech problem in the back end that we're solving so that we can finally launch the referral program. So I'm really sorry about that, but it's coming. But things are cooking, Tyler. We crossed 8,000 active traders.
Nice.
This weekend. Yeah, we doubled the numbers in 2 days. So it's good. We're about to hit $500,000 in USDC volume traded today. So it's big. Yeah, fear and greed index. I don't know, Tyler. I'm really liking the no.
32 right now. It was at 30 yesterday. So if we dip to 82K, we're probably going to 30. The question is like what would need to happen to go below 30?
Because the market is at 30 or higher. So the yes is 30. Yes, 30 is a yes. 29 is a no. So the question is, do we go back to 30? See, or do we go under? I'm surprised at the 80% on the yes here, Tyler. Like, I think.
Well, 30 counts for the yes.
Yeah.
So that's why, because I think it's 30 is like a fairly safe backboard unless some wheels fall off today. But if you see the wheels falling off, start nuking. Maybe go check that line.
Definitely go check that line. All right. Well, we'll be sure to check that line tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the episode of FOMO Hour on Rug Radio. Let's go.